Your body isn't sick. It's crying out for something you don't yet understand. Maybe you think it's just tiredness, a slight tension in his arms, a nausea that won't go away, an exhaustion that seems to have no cause. But what you describe as a symptom could actually be a vivid memory, a story never put into words, but one that continues to be relived in silence. As your mind raced, your body froze, just as something broke. You may have forgotten what happened, but your breath remembers. Your muscles remember. Your posture, your arch, even your bones. Everyone knows it. Every part of your body has become a code, a message written in pain. And the more you ignore it, the louder your body screams. Have you ever wondered why you feel that gnawing feeling in your stomach? For no apparent reason? Or why your face is dull when you wake up, even though you actually slept well? There's a reason, and it goes far beyond biomechanics or stress. The body is the last place trauma hides, and the first place it calls for help. In this video, you'll learn how trauma shapes your energy, blocks your desires, and even distorts your sense of reality. What's more, you'll understand that every pain carries a hidden code that can be unlocked, released, and transformed. But this only happens when you stop viewing your body as an enemy and listen to it as the guardian of your deepest truth. There's a kind of pain that doesn't show up in tests but lasts a lifetime. It doesn't just live in your brain and doesn't disappear with positive thinking. It calms itself in your body and continues to vibrate until you finally listen with presence. This is a silent trauma, not one you remember, but one your body never forgets. Science tries to explain it with neurotransmitters, hormones, and brain connections. But there's more to it than just medical jargon. Even ancient cultures knew this. The body is a living energy, field in which experiences are transformed into frequencies. Every part of you, your shoulders, your solar plexus, your feet, your chest, your skin. They knew that one cannot reach the divine if the physical doors are blocked. Thoth, the scribe of truth, taught that every part of the human body is an extension of universal laws. The throat, for example, represented the creative power of the voice, and its blockage indicated self-expression. The chest was the seal of primordial identity, the connection between spirit and matter. For Hermes, there could be no spiritual development without somatic integration. The body was the first tablet, and the records engraved on it could not be ignored. Hermetic wisdom wasn't theoretical. It was based on vibrations. One had to feel the laws through one's skin, blood and bones. When an initiate entered a temple, he was greeted not with explanations, but with physical rites. Hermetic wisdom was not theoretical. It was vibrant. One had to feel the laws working through one's skin, through one's bones. When a novice entered a temple, he was greeted not with explanations, but with physical rites. When a novice entered a temple, he was greeted not with explanations, but with physical rites. That's why we feel empty, even when we engage with information. We are separated from the original code, yet that code still pulsates within you. It's located in the middle of your neck, at the base of your spine. When you contract and remain silent, you evoke normal tension, but it's actually a call. The same call the ancients heard when they sat silently and listened. For your own body, neuroscience today confirms what the ancients already knew. Without equipment or laboratories, studies show that trauma not only remains in the memory, but also subsides in the body. Psychiatrist and researcher Bessel van der Kolk discovered that the traumatized brain switches into a permanent survival mode, even without an immediate threat. The nervous system behaves as if the danger was still present. The body remains on high alert. Breathing slows, muscles tense, and the brain loses its balance. It's as if time stands still in the body's physiology. Peter Levine, the founder of the somatic experience method, discovered that healing from trauma begins in the body, not with words. He observed that animals confronted with trauma relieve stress through trembling and instinctive movements. We humans suppress this discharge, and it makes us sick. Stephen Porges, with his polyvagal theory, demonstrated that the vagus nerve regulates how we respond to the world. When trauma blocks this channel, we lose the ability to feel safe and connected. And as long as the body doesn't feel unsafe, life energy can't flow freely. Science confirms that suppressed emotions alter the immune system, hormonal balance, and even gene expression. Epigenetics shows that trauma not only leaves scars, but also influences the genes we activate or silence. In other words, the body carries the past into the present. And as long as this isn't recognized, reality remains shaped by this distortion. The bridge between science and spirituality is being rebuilt. What was once considered mystical is now being exposed. Through tests and experiments, the truth was always there. All that was missing was the sensitivity to recognize it and the courage to feel it. Without presence, there is no real healing. And presence doesn't just mean being aware of your thoughts. It means being aware of your body. The first step on this journey isn't about doing anything. It's about deeply feeling what we've learned to avoid. Because every point of tension is the body's time to protect you from something that once suffered great pain. But what once protected you now holds you back. To break free, you must look at your body with fresh eyes. Not as a problem you fixate on, but as a vibrational field you perceive. Technique 1, semantic listening. Rest or remain silent. Close your eyes. Choose a part of your body where you feel pain, tension, or discomfort. Instead of trying to relax or fixate on it, simply ask, "What do you want to show me?" Technique 2, vibrational name. Give the sensation you felt a symbolic name. It doesn't have to be logical. It could be something like the weight of ancestors, an invisible sound, whatever you feel. Technique 3, rest. Breathe in for 4 seconds and exhale for 8 seconds. As you exhale, imagine this feeling leaving your body as a dark shadow. Don't force the feeling. Simply let it go. The body doesn't need pressure. It takes a sense of safety to let go. Then the energy begins to flow again, and every cell recognizes that the danger is over. You achieve something most people never have the courage to do: a deep familiarity with your own vibrational field. At this point, it's no longer about fixing a symptom. It's about reconfiguring your body as a living portal of manifestation. Trauma is not an end. It's a disruption of your energy path. Now consciously reconnect this line, a technique for repositioning your architect's body. Rest slowly. Stand with your feet parallel and your eyes closed. Let your body show you where it feels stuck. Pay attention to tension in your legs, feet, or neck. Now move as if guided from within. Not to pierce, but to release. Make micro adjustments with full awareness. Turn your feet, open your neck, and move your head away. This gesture is not only physical, but also symbolic. You are repositioning your vibrational identity, letting go of postures you once adopted for survival, but that no longer serve you. Technique 5, somatic relaxation. Touch the part of your body that is experiencing the most tension. It could be your neck, the back of your neck, or the back of your neck. Hold your hand there and say out loud or quietly, "I acknowledge what you've been holding for me, and I release you." Hold this affirmation while breathing for at least 2 minutes. Repeat this as often as necessary. This is a vibrational return ritual. You are returning to the field what was never meant to be carried by you. And at the same time, you reclaim your inner space. You no longer have to live in a body built for defense. You can begin to live in a body designed for creation. After activating deep listening, naming the code, and initiating the release, it's time to imprint a new frequency on your body. Trauma leaves behind vibrational spikes, empty spaces where life energy no longer flows. If you simply eliminate the pain without reimagining it, the emptiness will ultimately be filtered by the same old patterns. Therefore, the final step is the conscious imprinting of a new energetic signature. Where in my body does this archetype live? If it's courage, it can live in your neck. If it's trust, in your solar plexus. If it's presence, in your feet. Press this point with both hands, close your eyes, and begin breathing as if you were oxygenating this new energy. Visualize this area glowing and increasing in weight, power, and vibrational density. You are reprogramming your posture, magnetism, and attraction. Your body begins to recognize this new identity as safe and express it naturally. Technique 7, vibrational closing ritual at the end of these exercises. Feel still. Place your hands on the center of your neck. Take a deep breath and say, I have closed the cycle of defense. I have activated the cycle of presence. This vibrational closure signals to your nervous system that a new path has been opened, not only mentally but also biologically. The exercise is complete, and with it, a new field of manifestation begins to emerge from your body. Not as a thought, but as a living reality. You are not merely a symptom of healing. You are reclaiming your body as the sacred ground of your creative consciousness. Liam couldn't remember any such trauma. His childhood seemed normal, the family functioned, nothing unusual. But there was something. It had always been like that. A constant feeling of not belonging, as if his body had never truly felt at home. He slept well, but woke up tired. He took care of his health, but still felt an emptiness in his neck. And above all, he feared silence. In silence, his body spoke, and he didn't want to listen. One day, during a guided exercise, the teacher said, touch the place where you're suffering and stay there. He placed his hand on his neck. It was only a suspicion, he thought, but something inside him opened. An image appeared clear as a lucid dream. He, 8 years old, held back his tears so as not to worry about his mother, absorbing fear, anger, and everything that remained unknown to him. His neck didn't hurt. It was full of memories he had never processed. At that moment, he wasn't crying. He was shaking. His whole body was trembling like an animal, coming back to life after being frozen. Then Liam understood. The trauma wasn't what had happened. It was what he needed to keep in order to move on. From that day on, he began to listen, not with his mind, but with his skin, with the rhythm of his breath, with the silence between heartbeats. Every part of her body became an oracle. Her arms spoke of inherited shame. Her feet spoke of diminished desire. Her face spoke of unspoken truths. And the more he listened, the more radiant his body became. And his reality became clearer. The bosses stopped repeating themselves. The fear dissipated. Creation began, for he no longer tried to escape. He was finally at peace with himself. And that was the gateway. The body ceased to be a battlefield and became a sacred altar on which consciousness lived again. At this point, many people give up, not because they don't care, but because they can't feel anything. They close their eyes and feel nothing. They try to listen to their bodies, but hear only silence, and soon they think, this isn't for me. But what looks like a blockage is actually a form of protection. Your body isn't ignoring you. He's waiting for you to treat him with respect. For years, perhaps decades, he's been taught to be silent, to ignore pain, to shed tears, and to resist natural impulses. And now, as you try to reconnect, it hesitates. That's the challenge. You want to listen, but your body still doesn't know if it can trust you. And he only opens up when he feels safe. He doesn't try to force immediate relaxation. He doesn't chase intense sensations. Liberation doesn't come through performance. It comes through presence. The secret is to persist, even when it seems like nothing is happening, because it's only in the moment, between sensations, that the body begins to trust again. And when that happens, a tremor, a scream, a sudden emotion appears, small signs that tell us the frequency is changing. Transmutation begins with consistency, not intensity. Remember, trauma has shaped the body over the years. It's only natural that it needs time to open up again, but it will, because the body is designed to regulate itself, recover and regenerate. And all you have to do is stop fighting it and start living it with the truth. This is the turning point where you no longer demand that your body react quickly, but instead honor it as a living sanctuary for your reconnection with reality. Your body was never an obstacle. It was always the way, all your life. He's tried to speak to you not with words, but with heartbeats, silences, and involuntary body postures. He doesn't want punishment, restraints, or discipline. He wants presence. He wants you back. Because everything you seek, clarity, peace, connection, manifestation, begins where your consciousness sits. And if your consciousness isn't in the body, it sits in exile. Today you have achieved something few have considered. The truth is that your reality is shaped not only by your thoughts, but also by what you feel, what you hold on to and silently ignore. Every discomfort, every resistance, every pain is a call for reconnection. And when you honor that, something changes. Not magically, but in a living way. Because the body is intelligent, it is sacred, it is faithful. It doesn't lie, it doesn't deceive. He remembers, and he remembers until you, too, are ready to remember. To remember who you were before you were defensive, before you were tense, before you felt the hunger that taught you to hide inside. That's where it all begins. In the decision to return, to disempower and liberate oneself. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "There is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest wisdom." You don't have to understand everything, but you must courageously feel what you have never allowed yourself to touch. Because true transformation doesn't happen in the mind. It happens the moment you decide to live fully within yourself, not as someone surviving the past, but as someone who, with their entire body, manifests the reality they ultimately sought to disempower. If this content touched you deeply, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications. This simple gesture helps more people access knowledge that transforms not only the mind, but also the body and reality. I'd love to hear how this journey resonates with you. Share it in the comments. I honor the body as a sacred altar to my new reality. This phrase seals your vibrational presence and activates the field of conscious reconnection. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that the body holds secrets the mind alone cannot comprehend, and keep puzzling. Click on the screen to watch another transformative video from the channel. Every new knowledge you access helps reorder the frequencies around you. Remember, healing is not a destination. It's the moment you decide to come home.